The Fool and the Three Sisters. Once upon a time, in a small village tucked between misty mountains, there lived a poor but kind-hearted young man named Ivan. He was known throughout the village as Ivan the Fool, not because he was unwise, but because he had a simple, humble nature that often made others think he is foolish. Ivan worked hard every day, helping in the fields and tending to animals, but despite his efforts, he was always poor. One summer evening, Ivan's mother called him to her side. "Ivan," she said, "I am old, and my time is short. I cannot leave you much, but I can give you some advice. Never forget to be kind to others, even when they may seem unworthy of it." "Thank you, mother," Ivan replied, though he didn't quite understand the deeper meaning of her words at the time. A week after his mother's passing, Ivan decided to leave the village and seek his fortune. He packed a small bag of bread and set off on the road, not knowing where he would go, but trusting that fate would guide him. As he traveled through a thick forest, he came upon a strange, isolated cottage. Curiosity led him to knock on the door. An old woman, bent and frail, answered. "Come in, dear traveler," she said kindly. "Rest yourself and share a meal with me." Grateful for the warm invitation, Ivan entered and sat at the table, where the old woman offered him a hearty meal. As they ate, Ivan shared stories of his life, telling her of his travels and how he sought a better life. "You are a kind soul, Ivan," said the old woman. "I see that you are on a journey that is more than just seeking riches. However, you must know that your journey will not be an easy one. You will meet three sisters along the way, each one with a challenge to offer. Each of these challenges will test not only your strength but your heart as well. Only by showing kindness and wisdom will you succeed." Ivan listened attentively, but before he could ask more questions, the old woman gave him three gifts: a golden comb, a silver mirror, and a small box that contained nothing but dust. "Take these with you," she said, "for they will be your companions on the road ahead." Grateful, Ivan thanked the old woman, and she gave him directions to the first sister's home. With a wave, he continued on his journey, his heart full of curiosity and wonder. The first sister, the sister of beauty. After several days of walking, Ivan arrived at a magnificent castle. At the entrance stood a beautiful woman with flowing golden hair and a gown that shimmered in the sunlight. She was the first sister, the sister of beauty. "Who comes to my home?" she asked in a melodious voice. "I am Ivan, a traveler seeking my fortune," he replied. "You must prove yourself worthy to stay in my castle," she said, "by solving a riddle. If you cannot, you must leave at once." "Tell me your riddle," Ivan said without hesitation. The sister smiled and asked, "What is more beautiful than the sun, more fleeting than the breeze, and more powerful than the sea?" Ivan thought long and hard, but the answer eluded him. He looked around the room, and then his eyes fell on the silver mirror the old woman had given him. Without fully understanding why, he held it up to the sister. "Your beauty," he said simply. The sister's eyes widened, and for a moment, she seemed taken aback. "You are wise," she said. "You have understood what I could not see myself. I will reward you with this, my blessing of beauty and grace." With that, Ivan found himself transformed. His clothes became finely tailored, and his appearance was now handsome and radiant. The sister smiled, but her smile was tinged with sadness. "Now, you must leave. The next challenge awaits you." Ivan bowed deeply, thanked her, and left the castle, continuing on his journey. The second sister, the sister of knowledge. As Ivan wandered further, he reached another grand palace. This time, the woman who greeted him was not only beautiful but also wore spectacles and carried a book in her hand. She was the second sister, the sister of knowledge. "I see you are handsome and well-dressed," she said with a knowing smile. "But tell me, traveler, do you seek knowledge? I will give you a test of wisdom, and you must pass if you are to continue your journey." Ivan nodded, ready for the challenge. The sister opened her book and asked, "What is the greatest secret in the world, the one that all people search for, yet few ever find?" Ivan thought for a long time. He remembered his mother's words and thought about the kindness and wisdom the old woman had shown him. Finally, he replied, "The greatest secret is love." The sister looked at him in astonishment, her eyes sparkling with admiration. You have answered truly. The search for love is the search for truth, and you have found it. She then presented him with a small golden key. This is the key to the next part of your journey. Go now, and may love guide you. Ivan thanked her, and as he left the palace, he felt a warmth in his heart that he had never felt before. The third sister, the sister of power. After many days of travel, Ivan arrived at the final palace. The third sister, the sister of power, was unlike her sisters in many ways. She was strong and fierce, wearing armor made of shining silver. She looked at Ivan with piercing eyes and said, "You have passed the test of beauty and wisdom, but now you must prove your strength." "I am ready," Ivan said bravely. The sister led him into a great arena where a monstrous beast awaited them. It was a great dragon, with scales of iron and eyes that burned like fire. "You must defeat this creature," the sister said. "Only then will you earn the right to claim your prize." Ivan's heart pounded in his chest, but he remembered the golden comb the old woman had given him. He reached into his bag and took it out. As soon as he did, the comb glowed with a soft golden light. The dragon lunged at him, but Ivan held the comb high. The beast hesitated, then stopped in its tracks. It looked at Ivan with strange, intelligent eyes, and Ivan, feeling a deep connection with the creature, spoke gently. "You do not need to fight. We both seek something greater. Let us both go free." To Ivan's amazement, the dragon lowered its head and allowed him to pass. The third sister, watching from the sidelines, was astonished. "You have done what no one else could," she said. "You have used not strength but wisdom and compassion. You have truly earned the final reward." She gave Ivan a crown made of diamonds and gold. "This is your prize, Ivan. You are no longer the fool. You are a king, wise, strong, and kind." They returned home. With the crown upon his head, Ivan returned to the village where he had started. The villagers, who had once mocked him for his simplicity, now looked upon him with awe and respect. Ivan, however, remained humble, and he shared his wealth with those who had helped him along the way. He never forgot the lessons of the three sisters, that beauty was fleeting, that knowledge could enlighten, and that true power lay in kindness and wisdom. And so, Ivan the Fool became Ivan the Wise, a ruler beloved by all, and his reign was peaceful and just for many years. And that, dear listener, is how a simple traveler became a king, not by strength or wealth, but by the goodness of his heart.